Guys, it's real cold for me right now, but I think it's about to get hot in here. What about you? I love you, Colonel Sanders. No, it's not me saying that. That's the title of the game. We're back. Quick updates before I continue. I haven't played this for a couple of days. And in between that time, I said to myself, I need to really buckle down and determine what the right voice affectations for these characters are, because it doesn't seem like a whole bunch of characters. And then on a whim, I looked up, how long does it take to beat this game? And the number that it spit out at me was like 7 hours. So I said, okay, I'll beat the game then, but it's not really long enough for me to give a crap too much about the character voices. So sorry, I'm sure you can find this all over YouTube where people did do a good job on that front. But I'm also surprised about the 7 hours, and let me show you why. We've got, an hour under our belt? So I go to load game, and I'm right here on the 5th byte. I don't know what these bytes are broken down by, so I'm not quite sure. But 7 hours seems strange to me, because we look like we're halfway through. I can't click and drag these over to the side, and 10 says final byte. So unless if the last of these are each an hour, it's possible. It felt like we just did the beginning of seeing most of everything, but it's just strange to me. The only other thing I could think of is that we did make what felt like a pretty big choice of partner for our best friend. And maybe it's significantly different. Maybe the people who have been streaming this have said, we'll go through it twice, one for each partner. I don't know. Not sure how it broke down. I'm just hoping I at least can get the 4 episodes that are needed. And if there's any extra, I can toss them in somewhere. We've had to deal with that before. That's not a problem. So, on to the 5th byte. The biscuits and chicken. So far, I've accidentally answered correctly because I don't eat at KFC. I don't know what they sell, and I've only realized after the fact. I've been trying to answer them as honestly to myself, to mine own self. Am I true? Anyway, you awake on day 2 and attempt to process the wild visions you had. Were they memories or were they premonitions? And then there was that secret ingredient that Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? It's probably just because he already trusts you so much. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with the spork monster, she launches into a story of her own. Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might I think I might like Pop. Like him? Like? I know, it sounds like it's moving too fast, but there's something about him. I like him. Like him. We got to talking after class, and he's actually a totally sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders enlisted in the Army when he was only 3? Okay. Not only that, but he founded a special unit of super soldiers who all wear the same hats just because he put a hat on one time and thought it looked cool. But Colonel Sanders doesn't even wear a hat. He wears a ribbon tie. Either way, maybe it'd be best if you took it slow with this new boy, like I am with Colonel Sanders. You and Colonel Sanders, the coolest guy in school, the most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School Academy for Learning? You're a thing now? Oh, we definitely connected yesterday. Sure you did. You're great. Why wouldn't he be into you, I guess? Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You are great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why did he tell me one of his secret ingredients? Your bestie's eyes light up. A secret ingredient? Yeah, I just said that. A secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing. So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in the botanical garden where I was wandering. Well, this can't be good. Yeah, what is this story? He told me all about his passions for spices. Secret spices. The man even gave me some to show me what he meant. He said it was a powder created from super duper rare dried flower petals, and that if I did him a big favor, I could have some of my own. Please, Miriam, don't tell me. So I filled my suitcase with them and brought them home. She robbed them? He was so nice, he even met me at the gate when I arrived. Later, when I cooked with them, a very strange feeling came over me, and the flavor was unlike anything I'd ever tasted. It was totally meth. I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here. Whatever. Anyhow, we both share an interest in cooking, so we've stayed in touch, like pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about new spices. Yeah, well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe, and besides, I only know the one ingredient, so I doubt it'd be much use to anyone. Please, please, please! It would mean the world to me. No one has to know it came from you or from Colonel Sanders. What do you think? Should you protect Colonel Sanders' secret or share it with your bestie? No, see, I'm going to have people's back. If you tell me a secret, it stays a secret. It's just that much. Oh, wait, I have the option of telling her or lying about it. See, that's not cool. I wouldn't lie about it. I would just be like, no, I'm not telling you. So I guess that those ideas are competing. I'm going to... This is a toughie. I feel like this is a tough one. Because a part of me thinks, if Colonel Sanders really is a cool guy, and because wasn't the secret ingredient just cooking with love? Wasn't that all it was? Or did I forget something in the past couple of days? Which is always in the realm of possibility. Then wouldn't he want this to go out there? You know what? Screw it. I'm going to tell her. Okay, I'll tell you, but it has to stay a secret, which is exactly why I'm telling you. Miriam nods furiously. Oh, right, it was blank. That's what it was. Cooking with love was my move when I fought the spork monster, I think. He told me that he uses white highlight. Never would have guessed that, would you? Her eyes light up imagining such a thing, and you figure that you've satisfied her curiosity and she'll move on. However, she immediately turns around and does some thumb typing on her phone that you can't quite see. That's probably not good. Before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in, cherry blossom petals fill the air. Literally, I didn't expect it to be animated. It's Colonel Sanders. He's arriving at school on a horse. We'll just stand back and admire his majestic glory. His horse is truly a thing of beauty. Look at his horse. His horse is amazing. Horse sound effects. Without ever acknowledging that he's being washed, he does a short horse dance before dismounting with a flourish. He then slaps the beautiful creature gently on its rear, sending it running free into the countryside. You are so struck by the sight of him that you lose the ability to speak coherently. Oh, I didn't realize anyone was watching. Don't worry, he knows his way home. You attempt to compliment Colonel Sanders, but the words don't come out exactly right. What a horseful beaut you have. What a horseful beaut you have. Dang it, that's what I just said. Being a good friend, Miriam attempts to cover for you. Oh, Brian just gets really nervous around people they like. That's not helping. They got food poisoning and were up all night. It was gruesome. You should have seen it. She gives you a wink and a smile as if to say, situation handled. Now he's totally thinking about diarrhea. Can't blame a girl for trying. And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you can see your two rivals, Ashley and Van Van, are doing something bad. By the way they're hiding, you know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting recipes bad? Experimenting with restricted ingredients bad? Summoning a demon bad? You try and get a peek over Van Van's hulking shoulder, but he sees you coming. Whoa there, little one, I'm not sure you're ready to handle this. Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? Mind your own wax. So I can tell them to stop acting immature, or I can act like I'm not interested in them but really try and get a closer look. As Method Man said, get your act right. You immediately dress the rivals down for their immature behavior. Culinary school is to be respected. This kind of nonsense is a waste of everyone's time. Now you've upset them. Oh, and you're the emperor of cooking, are you? You make the rules? I'm not sure you'd know a good meal if it ate you. Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache. And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil. You finally get a look at what it was they were hiding, and you instantly recognize it. It's a book, just like the one you found after your encounter with the spork monster. That's the same book that I found last night in the quad. Ashley immediately elbows Van Van, who hides the book behind his back. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom, and its contents are secret. You notice that they haven't just been studying the book. They've got Pop pinned to the wall, and they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his mouth. This isn't evil. This is fun. What's the complaint with my character? Yeah, we're playing. Before you can dig in any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Robot sounds. Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van Van's meaty foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts. You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Bizdwomp. Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such language, not even from a stand mixer. Oh, God, stand mixers have the worst language. Womp womp. No, your mother was a stand mixer. Bizd. Van Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank's shocked. Oh, I put the S in the wrong spot there. Van Van jumps to attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room. Oh, I thought she was about to... I heard a oomph sound. I thought we were going to have voice acting. Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me, but I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know that this is a ruse, right? You know, I'm looking at his cane and I'm just thinking of Aqua Teen Hunger Force's episode where the voodoo guy has one like that and he's like, arise, chicken. Gentlemen, get a hold of yourselves. Save it for the arena at least. Or don't. Honestly, what do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on. Maybe I can help you with your business plan. Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but he's also a dog. Students, please take your seats. I forgot what I was doing with his voice before. I apologize for my late arrival. Was it that? I spent the morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny legs are very, very tired. But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn. Rub his furry dog belly. He loves it. After he catches his breath, Sprinkles regains control of the classroom. Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken. You want to pay attention to the lesson. Truly, you do. Are they solving the hypotenuse back there? What is happening on the chalkboard? Which is why in 1776, at the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken who first signed their name. But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you. Well, Brian, naturally this appears to you to be a sample platter. Which item do you want to sample? Okay, so we've got a glass of water, a shimmering pepper, or a dog biscuit. Well, I'm guessing the right answer is probably shimmering pepper, but you know what I'm doing all the time? Drinking water, so that's what we're going for. You grab the glass of water and gulp it down. It's cool and crisp, like the purest snow melted by a mountain spring. Doesn't that mean melted into a mountain spring? Hey, that was mine. It was from my favorite toilet. You owe me $6. And you've got excellent taste. You think to yourself, geez, I should pay better attention. We all make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you. Someday? Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anyone can relax, the cafeteria lights dim. And your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch will be prepared via timed competitive cook-off. The level of theatrics with these two is off the charts. Okay, I'm wondering if I'm going to actually have a cooking minigame here, because I kept feeling like that was going to be the case early on. But after that Spork Monster fight, I'm like, is that really gameplay or is it a vignette? So we'll see what this is. So what are my options here? I can step up and tell them they're on, or demand that they stop wasting everyone's time. No, I think we should do some cooking in the culinary school. Call me crazy. A bit of lunchtime competition, count me in. If I have to wipe the tables with you fools before I set my lunch down on it, so be it. I'm not the fool. You're the fool. Good one, Van. I like your gumption, Brian. I'll be watching your performance. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkle steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness. Now, students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sportsing court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least not until we turn on the timer. Oh, just then a huge light blasts you in the face, flashing the words, "Timer ready." That's what I'm talking about. Arroo! I stand corrected. The hard way builds solidly a foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's an original quote by me, in case anyone was wondering. I hope its message lifts you to victory. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now is my chance to shine. I will defeat you myself. You had his chicken, and you made mashed potatoes and gravy on day one, and you're feeling like you can really impress him again here. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast. If the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. It always boils, we're going to go 100C. That's right, but how would you... Oh, it's not... I saw Sprinkles. I thought Sprinkles was talking. That's right, but how would you have even gotten into the school without knowing that? Winner gets to rub my... Let's start that over. Winner gets to rub my furry belly. Let that enticing offer motivate you. You're going to need to season this chicken before you cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipe exactly, but you have an idea. How many herbs and spices did he say he used? Oh God, I think he said 11? That's right. You might not know all of the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. The tail wagging intensifies. Now that you've got some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. What state of mind offers the most flavor? Ooh. Trust? That's wrong. Uh-oh. I'm begging you to get it together. Get it? I'm a dog. It's never the wrong time for some dog jokes. Next question. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. You better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day, you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Now would be a great time to harness that energy. So where does it come from? Small town where big dreams are born? That's right. This is your shot, and you're not going to miss it. Aru again. You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking. What is the sound of success? Sizzling. Wrong. What? Doesn't chicken sizzle? Uh-oh. Don't make me get the spray bottle. You notice Colonel Sanders out of the corner of your eye. I believe in you, Brian. He's actually cheering you on. Which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoonfuls of gravy would it take to fill it? Son of a bitch! That was the counter going down when the other image was up? Because that's sneaky. What were you thinking? Get your mind back into the competition. Growls. You're stranded on a desert island with only one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk. I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't you be focused on the challenge? You're falling behind. I don't know what I selected. What does it have to do with crafting spectacular fried chicken and delicate baked biscuits? You're really struggling to keep up. At the next station over, Ashley has already begun plating elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough into a stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps. Yikes! I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow appliance utilized in a kitchen battle, but sometimes that means sacrificing the personal touch. Oh, did I toss this into him? Where you might not have any hands, but Brian does, and a good chef needs to be touching the dough to know when it's properly mixed. There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by going the easy way. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand into the mixer to rescue your dough before it's overmixed, but doesn't that mean the mixer is still on? Yeah, she's screaming, but you're not fast enough and your hand gets stuck. It's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. What you often find is that the easy way can turn out much, much more difficult. Everyone stop what you're doing right now. This battle is over. It can't be. I was so close to finishing my dish. Sweetheart, look at your hand. You simply can't go on. Aw, that's too bad. And here I am with the completed dish, ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default. No, it wouldn't be fair to compare the two on account of Brian's injury. You see Sprinkles begin to lick his little doggy chops as he locks onto the dish. But I suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared. Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skip straight to dessert. Under this white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and tells a story of excellence. I was going to ask Brian to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid that pouring this creamer of delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hand. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients hidden within. Inside, you'll find a delicate fried cheese croquette, atop a slice of honeycomb, ice cream 2 ways, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry gelée. I don't know what gelée is. I'm assuming it's like gelatin, but just in tiny form? I've never seen that term before. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps not impressed as he dips his finger in the chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley? Oh, you. As he places a sauce-covered finger into his lips, Ashley leans over and whispers something into his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. We can internalize the rage that I feel or put yourself between them. Well, I mean, if I have respect for this person, they're not going to fall for this crap, so I'll just keep it in. Your rage burns so intensely within your eyes that they burst into flames. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash, and they fall off of your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester, perhaps forever. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried brow, you run for the quad to be alone. That not at all where I thought that was going. This game is full of surprises. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and have decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to hide from him, but he approaches you directly. He doesn't alternate his flow. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine. Can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser. I'm not fit to fill your fryer. I'll never be a master chef. Failure is a part of life, not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well, then think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you, enrolled in culinary school, incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome, sure, I was born that way. But I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner to a gunfight. I didn't know. People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together, which is true now, but it hasn't always been. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure, it's honest, it's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle-scarred from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's the Spork Monster! Borko. It is I. I know I said I wouldn't be back, and after the whole fight to the death thing, maybe you don't really want to see me anymore, but I just wanted to say that I was wrong to attack you, and I apologize. I know what it's like having to always look over your shoulder. Monster problems. Am I right? Aw, thanks, Borko. I'm glad there are no hard feelings, me trying to kill you and all, because you're hideous. Getting jumped by a giant creature in the dark of night can really rile a person up. I also want to apologize for the way I switched right into attack mode. I know that you're strong and cooking school can put a person under a lot of stress. I actually used to go to this school. I wasn't always a spork monster, you see. I don't believe it. You were human once? Well, no, I was a golden retriever, but I was still a student, until one day some mean kids with a magic spell book cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. A magic spell book? Precisely. I had procured a copy for myself, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg of you, respect it. You're a powerful chef and shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who would cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear. I will be there. It sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life. Brian, together, I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss. A personal invite? You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. This game's freaking weird. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, of which there don't appear to be many, you start to feel a special bond with him. Looks like you live such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavors and textures. I'm not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perk up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to pair with something spicy or something crispy. Both, perhaps. Now you've got him right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him or keep it a secret just for you? Well, apparently my character is all about giving away secrets, so here's the reveal. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on ice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway. Magnificent. Together you chow down on the creamy slaw until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so that I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Do you really want coleslaw just stored away somewhere? Yeah, sure, why not? Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. We're going to tap on an item to discover more about the Colonel. You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountain range beyond, on accident because I didn't realize the text box was going to stay up and let me click then, so I didn't mean to click this at all. And then the ghost of student pops up. Are you thinking about, how should I do a ghost voice? Are you thinking about heading out into the world on a quest to avenge my death? Wait, what? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack and the ghost of student is swept out with a breeze. All right, let's click this chicken. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy. Must have been important to Colonel Sanders when it was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." All right. What's he drinking? Is that a drink? It is a drink. Oh, it's a candle. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in a lake. Summer of 69? No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's longer white highlight. All right, there's a credit card here on the side. Nope, it's a comb. A lock of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. Silver? No, that's white. He's always had white hair. Coming down to this silver stuff, all right? Upon further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silver in color, because it's not. It's actually made of spun silver. That door opened. I'm going to stay away from that. Who's the dead body in the urn? You take a closer look at a large urn sitting on a nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lie the ashes of all my past careers and business failures." Ah, poor guy. All right, well, now we got to look at the pictures, I think. So, an adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you figure that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's the drumstick that he seems to be waving like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of the company they founded, am I right? This photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt. Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. Wait, what? That's not what I see in this picture at all. If you're telling me they're cheersing fried chicken drumsticks, I would think they'd be like clinking them like you would clink glasses together, right? I don't see fried chicken at all. And for the Sanders figure, one hand's holding a cane, the other one is on this dude's shoulder. That's weird. What happened there? You look closely and see that there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. Ooh. It's a new name. There's one student, we don't know their name. This must be where he keeps this secret recipe. You think for a moment, what number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 11, 11, 11, the safe opens. Inside it, you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? I don't know. I guess. I mean, why not? You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big for you, but it's soft and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he has been working on, and he wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks you while you're wearing his jacket.
Aww.
I don't usually loan those out, but I must say it does look good on you. Oh crap, the jacket! You forgot to take it off. Yeah, we'll just tell the truth. I tried it on, man. It's not weird. You confess. I think I've developed feelings for you. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door, but the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, Brian. I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence! You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to him? Only time will tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. In some jurisdictions, it isn't even legal, but if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. I actually feel like this should be a breakpoint. It's another day. So yeah, I'm going to say ciao for now. Bye, guys.